Hey, have you checked out the Badlands Shop lately? You might be surprised from what you've been missing. From thoughtful gifts and unique finds to everyday household essentials and personal care must-haves, there's truly something for everyone at Badlands Shop. But here's what makes it different. Every single purchase you make is so much more than just buying stuff. You're investing directly in the movement. You're empowering America First businesses, lifting up fellow Badlanders, and supporting the creators who are building the community with us. Thank you for being a part of this. Your support means everything. Head over now to badlandsmedia.tv/shop or click shop on the menu at badlandsmedia.tv and discover your new favorite brands. That's badlandsmedia.tv/shop. Tired of having heavy, dusty, smelly cat litter that tracks everywhere and fills your house with odor? Discover Luv Litters, the long-lasting wood-based litter made from pure kindling dried wood with no chemicals or additives. It's eco-friendly, repurposing wood that would otherwise go to the landfill. Here's why it's so great. It completely neutralizes cat urine odor. You just scoop out the solids daily, flush them, and the urine simply evaporates with zero smell. A single 45-pound box can last one cat 6 to 9 months when used about an inch deep. It turns into fine sawdust over time, so there's minimal tracking and less mess to clean. Do you have birds? Luv Litters is aggressively absorbent. It dries droppings instantly to prevent mold and dissolves harmlessly if your bird nibbles on them. Plus, it works wonderfully for ferrets, rabbits, reptiles, and more. Ready to kick the clay habit for good? Head to badlandsmedia.tv/litter for free shipping and try Luv Litters. Your pets and your nose will thank you.
I don't say this lightly. This lotion changes people.
My knuckles would actually start to crack. Started using the soft disclosure lotion, and I am very impressed. Even within just a few days, I've noticed a tremendous difference.
That's not a script. That's what happens when something actually works.
It puts the lotion on its skin or else it gets the hose again.
Yeah, that line keeps coming up. Because when you don't use it, your skin starts acting up.
Every single ingredient in soft disclosure is intentionally chosen. There's no filler ingredients. It is not like this BS product where they have a bunch of ingredients. Every ingredient listed is for a purpose.
Over 65-star reviews for the lotion alone. Not influencers, not actors, just people whose skin finally shut up. Soft disclosure lotion. Once you try it, you'll understand why people won't stop talking about it. Visit softdisclosure.com and use code BADLANDS and get 10% off.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Shipwreck Show. My name is Shipwreck, and I'll be your hostess with the mostest. And there's no intro because I forget they're not connected, and I have to do them manually right now because I didn't connect. You know what? It doesn't matter. The intro is awesome if you ever seen it. Hello. It's good to see you. Thanks so much for being here. Hello. I just read this thing while I was watching the ads go by, and it says, fun fact, only women and their children live on this earth. So just let that sink in for just a few minutes. What's up? Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Only women and their children live on this earth. It took me a minute. It took me a minute to kind of be like, what about the men? Oh, get it? Because women have men. Hello, hello, hello. It's good to see you. Get it? Gosh, also with the cat litter. So they sent me some because I'm the only one at Badlands, I guess, that has a cat. I have one cat. She's 15. She's used regular litter her whole life. And so, but they sent me some. They were like, you want to try it? I was like, yeah, you can send some. And we did. We mixed it with like her regular litter. And then after the regular litter was gone, then we started just incorporating it more and more. And it does work. I was kind of surprised. And it doesn't smell, and her pee doesn't smell. So if you're running stuck on cat litter, give it a shot. You can use the code if you want to, or don't. Doesn't matter to me, but it does work, just so everybody's aware. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. I got some videos for everybody tonight. I got some funny videos, but I got one. I kind of fell down a rabbit hole this week. Well, I kind of like, I did and I didn't, because I kind of been stepping back from the politics because it's just making me angry for no reason. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm getting to this point where I feel like I'm just rage baiting people. Like, I really do feel that way. Not much. Not accomplishing a whole lot. And so kind of been stepping back, but and then with that, I kind of fell into this rabbit hole. So we got all the missing scientists going on, right? Well, this has been going on, I guess, a lot longer than people have put together, because people have said just in the last like year, all these scientists went missing. But some guy went all the way back to like 2014, and there's like a ton of scientists missing every year. Isn't that and one of the all right. Oh, hello. My internet's been intermittent, so you'll just have to hang in there. But her name is Amy Eskridge, was Amy Eskridge, because she's dead. Okay, she was like, they're gonna kill me, and they're following me and all this stuff, and then she just died one day. I guess she herself is what they said she did. But of course, it's all suspicious, and nobody ever looked into it, and there was no police report, and like the whole thing is very weird. But she came out, and I have some videos on what she like, because of all the extraterrestrial talk that's going on. There's a lot of people think they're demons. A lot of people think they're angels. A lot of people think that they're interdimensional. She had a theory that I hadn't, not even a theory. Like, this is something she said she knew that I had never heard before. And she had said that they were us from the future, and that they were here because of the nuclear talks that have been going on. Because if our governments around the world get into a nuclear like problem, like war, a nuclear war, it takes out the entire galaxy. It like disrupts the whole system, which makes sense if you know the story of President Eisenhower and his alien encounters, because that's what he had met with aliens about. They had wanted him to give up his nukes, and then in return, they were going to give him all kinds of information, from MRIs to like things with birth, how to do like the where you like implanted birth, like where you do the implants on the eggs and stuff. They were going to give him all this medical information that would revolutionize the medical world. And he turned him down because he didn't want to give up his nukes. And then he ended up making a deal with a different species. And that deal was, we still got the same information, but instead of giving up the nukes, we had to allow this species to abduct people so that they could study them and do studies on them. So when she talked about that, that's immediately where my brain went. So this goes even further back than she does. And she was young. She was super young. But here's that video, or I have a couple of videos of Amy Eskridge. But the first video I want to show you before we start getting really deep is a video I laughed about for a good 5 minutes. I probably watched it 3 or 4 times. So enjoy.
If the wood is wet, you're going to have to, but like I was saying, if you got, the wood is going to have, if the wood is wet, you have to get it. Okay, what, Baba? Really?
I died because I thought it was going to be some kind of like sweet thing where he was going to be like, look what I picked for you, like flowers or something. He's like, throw rocks at his truck. And I just died. I watched it like 4 or 5 times and I just laughed every single time. It was so funny. So I hope you enjoyed that before we get all into whatever the fuck this is. I am, well, we'll talk about it a little more. So here's the first of a couple videos that I have of her. 2 of these videos kind of explain the same thing, but explain them in a different way. So I'm going to go through those. And then the third video is a young lady who I think is also like some kind of engineer. And she has a theory of what she believes is actually happening to these scientists, which is an interesting thing. So here we go.
So the ultra terrestrials, I'll just tell you, the ultra terrestrials, I think, have you heard of the P-52s and the P-47s? Do you know what that is? They're us from the future. They're from here. They are you. They are me. They're from here, from the future. P-47 is present plus 47,000 years. P-52 is present plus 52,000 years. And basically there's a calamity, right? So there's like a apocalypse scenario in the near future. It wipes out most of like everything, man. And there's the ones that go underground and survive, right? And then there's the ones that somehow stay on the surface and miraculously don't die.
I've not heard this. I had not heard this, not once, ever, until I caught these videos. She's got like a whole podcast about it, but you can't really find it. And then there's a book about it, but you can't buy it anywhere. You have to like go to the website because they took it off Amazon. They took it off everything, but you can still go to the website and read it. Kind of. It's janky. P32 is radioactive isotope of phosphorus containing one or more neutrons that commonly stable isotope phosphorus 31. That sounds above my pay grade, but thank you. Sounds like serious travel. Well, so this would be time travel is what this would be, which isn't out of the stretch. If you know the story of like Barron Trump and his miraculous adventure, if you got into Nikola Tesla, Trump's uncle, like if you get into all of that, the time travel thing seems a little more plausible. And I'm open to anything. Like I am open. I am dumb enough to know that I don't know anything. So I'm open to all of it. Whether I believe it or not, I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. I don't even know that I believe that we are like 100% real. Are we just particles in a matrix? Like, what are we? So I'm very open to all of it. This is just the first that I had heard of it. And I used to do it when I was doing DNA sequence. This says time is a man-made concept. It is. Then somebody talked about, and this is completely off the subject, but there's been a lot of talk about time, like how time's moving faster. Like the days go by faster. Things seem to have sped up from even like 2020. And I can kind of see that because I do feel like I was talking to my husband, we've been 15 years. Like, how has it been? But then you think, okay, well, all the old people say that. So then is time really, like, is this really some kind of conspiracy or is this just nostalgia? You know what I mean? But it does feel like the days go by faster and it does feel like I'm losing time. But again, I'm getting older. So is this just nostalgia or me wanting to go back? Or is this is it legitimately, are we losing time? So I don't know. Yeah, if you haven't figured, I have a video on that too. I might try and upload it. I know I'm live. I just downloaded it right before the live started. He talks about this exact thing. He talks about it. He's like, this is all fear porn and there's more coming. And you need to just chill out because there's going to be like 4 groups of people. There are going to be people that freak out. There's going to be people that do, he's right. A lot of it's fear porn. And I'm just not afraid. I'm not. I'm more afraid of like the government. I'm not even sure I'm afraid of that anymore. That just seems like a discombobulated organism in itself. So those fags at CERN. Yeah, is that? And somebody had said that they had turned it on. So wait until you have grandkids, they grow. Yeah, and so that's what I'm wondering. Like, is it really? And that's when anybody starts, especially anybody that looks to be about my age, starts talking about time going by faster. I'm like, my grandma Elsie used to say it too. And she was in her 60s at the time. And I was young. I was like, whatever, Grandma Elsie, man, I got all the time in the world. So I'm careful to not spread that a lot because I feel like that's basically people's own perspective on time. I remember getting a notification last year that scientists proved we had several days were short 24 hours. I was floored because we were already talking about how we had several days that were short 24. Hold on. Days short. Yes, scientists have confirmed that the Earth has been spinning faster in recent years, resulting in several days being shortened by milliseconds compared to the standard 24-hour day. While Earth generally slows down over millions of years due to tidal friction, a puzzling acceleration around 2020 that led to a bumper crop of short days. But how does that make any sense? Because time is a man-made construct. So I don't understand that. Like, you could just say it's not, and then it's not. Or you could just say it is, and then it is. Do you know what I mean? That's tough. That's tough for me to, I don't know. God says to not be afraid 365 days, one for every single day. One, be not afraid for every single day of the year. Yeah, it's because you get the Sunday, what do they call them? The Sunday scaries. I don't really have those. I have the Tuesday scaries because I do my show on Wednesdays, and I like to be sure that by Tuesday night, I'm somewhat prepped. Like I've got my videos that I want, and I've got my plan that I want to talk about. Sunday scaries. But there's another video that talks about her. I'm going to play it right here.
So aliens are just us, humans from the future. That's not me talking. That's what scientist Amy Eskridge said on camera. She talked about ultra-terrestrials, not beings from another planet, beings from right here, Earth, just thousands of years ahead of us. Two groups she called P47 and P52, future humans who survived some kind of apocalypse and somehow found a way back to our time. Now think about that for a second. If that's even remotely true, it means someone figured out time travel. If you crack time travel, you probably crack space travel too, because time and space are not two separate things. They're the same fabric. Einstein told us that. So if you can bend one, you can bend the other. And maybe that's exactly what we're missing. Maybe some civilization out there, whether it's us from the future or someone else entirely from a parallel universe, already figured this out. They understood something about physics that we haven't caught up to yet. Something about time dilation, about quantum mechanics, about how reality actually works at levels our science can't even measure yet. Because let's be honest, every few decades we realize everything we thought we knew was incomplete. What if there's a law of physics we haven't discovered yet that connects all of it? Time, space, gravity, consciousness. And the moment we unlock that one missing piece, everything changes. We go anywhere, any place in the universe. Maybe that's what Amy Eskridge stumbled onto.
Before they killed her. I'm just saying. The Bible says in the end times, God will shorten the days. There's a lot of end times talk going on over there. Hi, Jessica Storm. All of everything is weird all the time. It is. She's supposedly dead. Now, this next video I'm going to show you, this lady has, and it's a pretty solid theory, solid sounding theory. She doesn't think they're dead. She thinks they're getting plucked up to start a new civilization somewhere else because the end of the world is coming. And then I have a video about the bunkers and see, and this is the green ozone. When I heard that, that's exactly what I thought too. Because I've heard this, that he was kind of almost like propaganda himself, almost like a Bill Gates. You know what I mean? Like just the face of something. So I don't know. I fucking weird, man. But here's her theory, and then we can talk a little more about it.
If you had to ask my professional conspiracy theory opinion on why the P-52s came back, I would say it would be to potentially stop or prevent a pole shift. It does not scream nuclear event to me, mostly because if a P-52, a genetically modified descendant of us humans, could come back from the future to the Earth, you would assume that they would have the technology to stop a world war like that from decimating their Earth. They technically wouldn't be here, in theory, in time travel theory, just making this up. Our poles have been moving for decades, and this is primarily due to climate change, or that's what they say. They say that the addition of the water from places like Antarctica and glaciers around the Earth is pouring into the ocean and adding weight and redistributing the weight in the Earth, which is making the Earth wobble on its axis. And in my mind, if we were going to choose why you would genetically modify your DNA to survive on the Earth, I feel like a pole shift after 20 to 100 years, it might be somewhat of a livable environment. And when I say livable, I mean you can come up and then go back down underground. I don't mean you can primarily live there like we do now. But when you think about nuclear war, a world war, that seems like total decimation of the environment that would take thousands, hundreds of thousands of years to recover from. I think it's due to climate change. I think they're here to stop climate change and a pole shift. Sounds simple, but that makes the most sense to me.
She had another video. Sorry, that she talked about the science. She had another theory too, that the scientists that were going missing, they weren't going missing and they weren't dying. They were getting picked up by Mr. Global, right? And they were taken somewhere else to start a new civilization, which is fairly, because you want a civilization of fucking smart people, I guess. I mean, does that make sense? That makes sense. The pole ship, I don't know. Like back when Eisenhower was all about it, it was nukes. And I find it really interesting because I don't think climate change was even a big topic of conversation back then. It was nuclear war back then, and they wanted the nukes. And so now that the nuclear conversation has kind of been brought back to the forefront with Iran and America in the conflict, I don't know. I guess we're going to find out. I keep seeing things about it. Anna Paulina Luna, because even though I'm not talking a lot about it, like I still watch because I want to know. Anna Paulina Luna said she already saw some shit. She ain't going to tell you. Because why would she? She already saw some shit, and we're going to get to see it soon. Because if you're going to let somebody see some shit, let it be Anna Paulina Luna, I guess, and the Scooby-Doo gang. But we're going to get to know soon. They're getting raptured. Kind of, but not in the way that people think. But we need nuke energy for AI data centers. The earth will wobble, but it won't fall down. The weather patterns we're seeing, you could think that was the earth wobbling, but if that's the case, then we caused that. Well, we didn't. They caused that with their cloud seeding and their bullshit. So, hi. It's good to see you. Thanks for being here. I don't know. She's straight up a disinformation agent. Look at her. She's going like a hot sparkler. She doesn't look that smart. Are you talking about that lady? I mean, maybe. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe. I don't even know who she is. She's some kind of, her whole account is some kind of like, she's like aerodynamic. She saw some shit. You think she did? That's what she said. She's like, I've seen it. And you're going to get to see it soon. And I'm like, we're still waiting on the rest of the Epstein emails. What about those JFK files we're supposed to get? Remember when you went all the way out there? You took a big old road trip and you went all the way out there to do your own investigation. 50 fucking years later, you crazy dumb. This is why I can't talk about these people, because it's so fake and gay. It's just fake. Fake. People just gobble it up, man. They're just like, yeah, midterms are going to be off the hook. The Democrats are going to win. Who gives a fuck? They all share the same bed, man. They all have the same agenda. They all serve the same master. Jeepers. Oh my gosh. Is that the only video I have left of that? Yeah, so be on the lookout. I had a picture too, but I don't know where it went. I don't have that. Be on the lookout for the you of the future. If you made it. Maybe we didn't make it. Maybe that's not me though. And then I thought about that. Like it's somebody else from the future. It's somebody else from Earth in the future coming back here. Probably not me though. I don't want to survive a nuclear fallout. I don't want to survive some kind of Earth ending thing. I don't want to. I don't want to. I hate it now. Like don't make it harder. Like you don't make it harder on me. Oh, we can talk about the world ending. What is this? Oh, this is another. Okay, so we got this
Where are
one.
you going if America falls?
I don't think we survive, brother.
What?
He said soon the shepherds of our people, the Arabs, they're in the middle of the desert, nothing there, will compete with one another to make buildings that touch the sky. And when one builds one, the other will say, I'll make one even bigger. We're all the greatest skyscrapers in the world. These are his words, Danny Jones. You tell me how an illiterate Arab in pre-ancient Arabia could have known that specifically. He said that men will marry men. There's a lot of prophecies. One of them was the time will come where people will place instruments, musical instruments on their ears, and they will dance into the night. How did he know? He described headphones, bro, towards the end of time.
That's pretty wild if that's true.
All of the minor signs, and I invite the audience, study the end of time signs in the religion of Islam. All the minor ones have happened. There's only the big ones left. And what are the big ones? The Great War, the appearance of the Antichrist, the return of Jesus Christ, peace and blessings be upon him. When the great signs start, it is too late to become a believer in God because you didn't believe without the signs. So My message to the Christian audience is we both believe Christ will be king when he returns to the earth. We both believe in one that will claim to be him and to deceive humanity and lead them into the fires of hell. He will be a man that only has one eye. Why is it that all the elite use that symbol, Danny? How did the Prophet Muhammad know? Because he's the only one that ever said it. I will give you a sign of the Antichrist that no other prophet has given his nation, that he will have one eye. But God does not have one eye. That was the one description that the Prophet Muhammad gave to all of humanity. Closest to the Muslim is the Christian. Skynet, bro. Starlink. Over our heads, bro. There will be nowhere to escape. Crypto takes over. Dollars on its way out. All fiat currency. That's why America has to fall. This is a global agenda.
Gross. But okay. Probably going to be fine. It's probably going to be fine. But this might be why you see a lot of people running back to their faith too. I do feel like something's coming. I feel like the thing with Charlie Kirk kind of kicked that off. People were like, oh, snap. Like, I got to get my ass back in the good book. Or at least get my ass back in good graces. Right? I think it started there. Because there's so many. Too bad all the major religions were created to oppose one another. So this is what I find really interesting, because I used to think the same thing. And I was like, is my religion even right? I'm Christian. I believe in Jesus. I don't necessarily go to church just because I don't. I feel like church is a good place for you to get with people who think the same way you do, to hang out together and worship. And I think that's great. If you need that, I don't. So I just don't. I talk to God just every day, just randomly while I'm vacuuming. But then I used to think, like, what is my religion right? Like, what if it is Buddhism? What if it is rocks and crystals? What if it is Wiccan? What if it is, what if it is Islam? What if it is all these? What if my religion is wrong? And this was a while back. And I had actually caught a clip of Tucker freaking Carlson. I caught this clip of Tucker Carlson on TikTok where he was kind of talking about his belief in his faith. And before this, I didn't watch Tucker religiously. I didn't watch him hardly at all. I catch his clips. I really didn't even know who he was till COVID. And the only reason I knew who he was during COVID is because he's one of the first personalities to come out and say, hey, this mask thing seems a little about control. And I was like, bro, finally somebody's fucking saying it, because I hadn't even started yet. But I was like, finally somebody's saying it, because it does seem kind of ridiculous, right? So anyway, but I don't watch him religiously, but I did catch a clip. And I caught enough clips to know that when Tucker is talking about something that he believes to be fact, it's pretty rare that he comes out and states it as such. It's always like, well, how are you going to free the Iranian people by bombing their school? That doesn't make any sense, right? And then he laughs and he positions everything as a question, and then almost as like a ridiculous question, right? And that's always been kind of his style. And I kind of get why he does it, because I used to be in sales. And in sales, you kind of do the same thing. The reason that you do that is because you want people to think that they came up with this idea almost on their own. Or in asking the question, even if it seems obvious and dumb, gets people's wheels kind of spinning a little bit more and gets you to think a little bit more rather than to just gobble the information up. Like a lot like what mainstream media used to do. They would just put the information out. People just gobble it up. When you start telling people, making them kind of question it, then they start thinking on their own. And that's, and that was Tucker. But there was one interview that I caught, and I don't know who it was. I don't even remember the context, but I do remember the subject of his faith coming up. And he sat there and they were talking about the different faiths. He's like, well, I'm a Christian and my faith is right. Period. My God is the right God. My faith is the right. Christianity is the right faith. Believing in Jesus is the right faith, and everybody else is wrong. And he said it so with such conviction, maybe not conviction, but just such like, this is it. Like, it was a non-negotiable for him. It wasn't up for debate, period. My religion is right. And he said it so with such authority. And I was like, because at the time, we were still kind of in this place where people were like, well, I don't believe what you believe, but I respect your beliefs. You know what I mean? And he was just like, you can believe what you want to believe, but you're wrong. And I'm right. Christianity is right. Jesus is right. My God is the God, period. And it wasn't up for debate. And I was kind of thrown. It was very authoritative. I was kind of thrown back because I was like, that's the only time I think I've ever really seen him not position something in a question or not point out, like, or even like laugh about it or joke about it or be open to have the conversation about it. Was very open and shut. And the conversation was done. And it stuck with me like forever. That stuck with me because I thought, well, if Tucker Carlson can stand there and say, you know, I have a feeling that he's right. Right? Tucker's country, he might be. He worships Mitt Romney's. He might be, but that doesn't change how he made me look at my faith. My personal opinion of Tucker Carlson, and I watched, but I've always watched Tucker for entertainment purposes. He made me laugh. He made me laugh when everything else seemed stupid. And I was like, oh, finally, like somebody. If you deny Christ in front of man, he will deny you in front of the Father. Well, that's interesting. Yeah. I'm not listening. I can't even. This is why I don't do this. For fuck's sake, people. I just said that's when I was like, okay, maybe I'm right. Maybe this is right. Maybe I can, because I feel like I'm right. I know that I'm right. I know there's only one God. I know there's only one Christ. I know it's right. I know Christianity is the way it's supposed to be, is what you're supposed to be. But with all these other religions out here and we have this ingrained fear of stepping on people's toes and not respecting them because of their religion or their race or because of this or that. It's like, I've always been kind of afraid to say like, yeah, I'm Christian, but you know, I believe in, you know, everybody should love everybody and da 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 da. I believe now that if you think it's a sin or it is a sin, then it's a sin. But that conversation between you and God, not you and me. You do whatever you need to do. It's cool. I don't look at you any different. I don't judge you. That's all you. But yes. I think Tucker's heart's in I don't know. I don't know anything about his heart. I just know that in that moment in time, I was like, gosh dang. If you can stand there, the whole world, he was getting millions of views. It was right after he left Fox. Like not long after. If you could stand there with your like full chest. And it wasn't even, he didn't think about it, nothing. He just, no, I'm right. My God is right. I was here for it. Did you hear about the dyslexic agnostic that does not believe in dogs? No. I've been agnostic with lots of faith in my being an atheist, but I'm free with firm conviction. I am. Churches and stuff, I think that's all stuff. I think it's tools you can use if you need to. I see churches as tools. I don't see church as an intricate part of my life. I see it as a tool if I need it. If I feel like I need to go for some reason or another, I'll go. But I've never feel that desire to go. This was before AI became super duper prominent online anyway. I don't know how much that's worth, but it was just really, it just stuck with me. And I'm kind of glad it did because it made me feel more authoritative in my faith. It made like, it was almost like a sign in itself because it was like, no, you're right. You're right. This is the right. You need to keep following this path. You're right. You are correct. Period. This happened. Christ died for our sins. He was killed by the religious leaders and the Jews. But you're right. And that was enough for me. I just took it and I said, okay. Ingrained it and walked away. I do have a couple Tucker videos. Yeah, we'll play those in a little bit, maybe. We can talk about underground bunkers. I do have an innate feeling, too, that this is why adrenochrome became such a hot commodity before we even knew what it was or what it did, and why some of these people, they're so insistent on staying alive. I have a video about LeBron James. My kid actually sent me about LeBron James and why he won't retire. And it has to do with, oh my God. My phone just started talking to me. I'm going to scared the shit right out of me. Well, that scared me. On why these people are so afraid to die. They're so afraid to get old and have their bodies kind of like wither away because they're afraid to die, because they know what comes after. They know what comes after they die. They know where they're going. They know what they did. That's why they build the bunkers. That's why they take the adrenochrome. That's why they do the rituals. That's why they align themselves with Satan and satanic rituals in order to try and keep themselves alive. That's why they soul jump. They go from one soul, one body to the next, because they can do all this. There's shit out there that allows you to do this if you believe in it and you worship it the way that these people do. They don't want to die because they know where they're going. They know what's going to happen. I watched one video of a lady who had a near-death experience, and she actually ended up going to hell. And she said she was an atheist at the time. She didn't believe in Jesus. She just wasn't a good person. And when she came back, she devoted her entire life to Christ. Entire life to Christ. Donates all her time to the poor. Donates all her time to the church. Everything. She lives very humbly. She was so terrified of turning her back on Christ again. She cried. She said, what did she say? She said that she cried out to him for help, and he'd pulled her out of the depths of hell and sat her down and was like, you got to go back, but you need to get in line. And so she came back, and it was like 30 years she had done this. These people are fucking terrified. Lower level dimensional entities will no longer have a home on an ascended planet. Yeah, well, same thing. Maybe. I don't know. I know of that. I guess I don't know a ton about that. But that's why they build their underground bunkers.
How does it make you feel when you see Mark Zuckerberg and all these billionaires creating these nuclear bunkers?
Whoever's in their bunker is working on a backup generator, and that backup generator has only so much fuel. And if you can't pump fuel ever again, you suffocate in your nuclear bunker. You just explode a nuclear weapon 300 miles above Oklahoma, and goodbye the power grid.
Who survives?
Who would want to survive? In essence, 5 billion people will die after a nuclear exchange. The people that die in the minutes and hours of the fireballs, the fallout, and then the nuclear winter. You'd have like this small group of people who would essentially become hunter-gatherers again, because you'd have to be an advanced prepper with military training to be able to survive in a world without agriculture, right?
I am none of those things. Just take me out with the fireball. I'm going to go home. Take my family with me. I'm going to go home. I don't want to live through the nuclear winter. I'm all set. I have zero desire to go through any of that. Maybe in my 20s I would have. Not now. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But here's the thing. Like, this is what's so funny to me when they talked about nuclear bunkers and they talk about all these bunkers and they're like, and it's like, but what are you going to do when like everything's gone? You need fuel to fuel those bunkers. What are you going to use? Nuclear air? Maybe you are. Maybe you figured that out. I don't know. Right? Like it's inevitable. None of these billionaires have military training. Like, what are they going to do? What are they going to do? They're just going to eventually fade away too. And it kind of reminded me too of like, when they talk about how Israel is doing all this to bring in the second coming of Christ. And I've heard that theory They're trying to bring in the Antichrist because then the Christians, the Israeli supporting Christians, I don't remember what the Christian Zionists, they come in and they support it because they think that by Israel bringing in the Antichrist, that's going to bring Jesus Christ back. And boy, that's just dumb. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I might not know the Bible and scripture inside and out, but I know enough to know that, one, no man knows the day and the hour. I know that one. But two, this isn't something you can just force. He ain't going to come back just because you set everything up prophetically. That's dumb. I wouldn't. I ain't Jesus, but I'd be like, you called the Antichrist? Like, no thanks. I'm good. I'm going to go to Cabo. Why would he? We've been such a godless nation, godless world for I don't know how long. Godless nation for sure. Come back and do what? Shoot. It's just wild to me. Billionaire lizard people have friends underground. They do. They're all fucking lizard people. We want to adapt well. No, I'm good. Just take me out. I'm all set. I'm all set. I'm good. I don't want a doomsday prep. I hate living in an anxious state. I fucking hate it. I hate it so much. Like, just let me go. I'm fine. I don't want to sit here and be afraid. And that's what everybody's they're trying to make you afraid of aliens, afraid of nukes, afraid of the world ending, afraid of Christ coming back, afraid of this, afraid of that, afraid of the Antichrist, afraid of Israel, afraid of Netanyahu, afraid of Iran, afraid of the Muslims. They want you afraid of everything. Because a scared nation is an easy to control nation. A nation that is emotionally involved in everything that they're doing is a nation that's easy to control. And that's why I made my decision to step back, because I'm contributing to that on a massive scale. Because what good does it come out here every single week to rag on Dan fucking Bongino? It's funny. I think it's funny. Y'all think it's funny. We think it's funny. But does it help anybody? Absolutely not. It absolutely does not help. Gets his bots all riled up on Red Bull. Fucking cranky bitches. But it doesn't help. It just doesn't. It keeps people in a state of anger, sadness, fear. And I don't want to be a part of that anymore. And when I started this, I wasn't. My whole message when I started this was hope, because everybody was so scared. The virus is coming. It gets through your mask. You need to wash your hands 7,000 times a day. Use hand sanitizer. Soap isn't strong enough. Hand sanitizer. Did you know that during the Black Plague, was it the Black Plague? The one with the doctors and the noses? I don't think it was the Black Plague. I don't remember what it was. No, it was typhoid. Did you know that during typhoid, okay, the reason that they figured out you could stop typhoid fever was simply by washing your hands with soap? You could do the same with COVID. Germs spread the same. And I tried to tell people that, and then they wouldn't hear it. And then eventually it became common knowledge, and almost nobody believes it anymore. There's some still that live in their bubble, but I feel like those people have a deeper ingrained trauma going on that they're using to exploit this with, but it's fine. But at some point, that message of hope turned to just straight fucking anger. Angry at all of them. And then when we won the election, it was like, cool, here we go. And then just pissed all that down the drain too. So I got nothing left. You know what I mean? I don't, other than sit here and just keep complaining about the same shit every single week. It just doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't. I could just tell you the story about me and my neighbor Dave. If you're on X, thanks for hanging out. That was fun. Neighbor Dave and I we're gonna have another battle again this weekend. It looks like my grass is tall because we had all this rain and now it's gonna get hot. It's super tall. So I need to go mow, and then I need to plant all my flowers, and I need to lay all my mulch. I have so much to do this weekend. And I'm just gonna bring you guys with me, and you can stay and you can go, and I don't care. I don't care. I can teach you some basic things on how to cook. I can teach you what I make. I can make what I make and put a video together and put it out. I can put it in a recipe card, however you want, to help you save a little money on your meals, because God knows we all need that. And I can do that. That helps. That helps. It just weighed on my heart for so long. I watched a video where they were like, did you know that rage baiting is a sin? And then they followed it up with the scripture that ties it to it. Now, I don't remember what the scripture was, but I was like, well, that's exactly what I'm doing, which explains why it's been weighing on my head for so long. I don't have any solutions. I don't have any solutions for the aliens either. I don't think that whatever's coming, we should be afraid of, though. I will tell you that much. If you're afraid, I could just tell you not to be, but I'm not afraid anymore. I don't know that I ever was. I always found it very intriguing. I think it's good. I think there's good, and I think it will be good. And I don't know if that's going to be Everyone's afraid of AI. I don't know about that either. I don't know. My butt still kicked from mowing last week. I love to mow. It's like my favorite thing to do during the spring and the summer. I love to mow. It's my favorite thing to do. The fresh grass smell, the clean cut lines, the way the grass changes colors. And then I always have to mow really slow because we get baby bunnies. And so I just got to make sure I'm not running any over. Last year I had 2 nests. And then when I find them, I stop and then I mow around them. And then I put a tomato cage over them, like on from the big side down so that the mama can still get in there, but yet I still don't hit it with the mower. They've all survived. None of it matters. Yeah, that's just it. And somebody's like, you sound hopeless. I'm really not. This is as free as I've felt in months. I am absolutely not hopeless. I'm hopeless in our government. Like I was pretty sad to figure that out. Finally figure out that was all a scam and it wasn't going to get fixed. That sucked. That sucked. But I'm not hopeless at all. Actually, I feel really good. I sleep really well. I got my 10K steps in. I ate my chia pudding. It was all right. It was okay. I'm going to make a chocolate one next week and put some raspberries in it. Raspberries are my favorite. I love to mow. Yeah. And spend time outside. It's been such a long winter. I'm just ready to go. Our dog used to too. We used to have a cat, Sleepy Joe. His name was Dudley, but we nicknamed him Sleepy Joe Biden, because he got dementia. We had to put him down this year. I can't even talk about it without tearing up, so I'm not going to get too much into it. But he used to go out into our yard in our starter home, and he would go out into our yard, and there was like a big retaining wall with a bunch of woods in the back, and he would jump up there and he would catch these live rabbits, big rabbits, and bring them back and jump back over the fence and give them to the fucking dogs. We had a big lab at the time, and we had an American bulldog, like the long-nosed breed. He was such a good dog, phantom boy. He would bring them live rabbits and then drop them in the yard where the kids are playing, and them dogs would just rip it apart. And I just couldn't believe that this was my life at the time. My kids were small. They would cry. I would cry. I'd call my husband. We'd all be crying because, like, what is he going to do? He couldn't leave. I'm like, what do I do? And he's like, just bury it. She did like 4 times. That fucking cat. Yeah, keep your neighborhood safe. I love my neighborhood. I love my neighbor Dave. I even like my neighbor Chris on the other side. They get a little rowdy, but it's all right. The lady across the street, she's Asian. She brought us egg rolls one night. It was super nice of her. She's super quiet. I like her. Now I don't really know anybody else on my block. The people live here, just Mexicans. They don't speak English, but they work on things around the town. It's a rental. So, but they're nice enough. They turn their music down at 9 p.m., which we appreciate because we're old. And then the other people I don't know. There's only like 2 other houses. I don't know who they are. But I put them in my yogurt today. That helped. I was well over my calorie deficit today. Not well, but like 300 calories over my calorie deficit today. Because I'm in my luteal phase and I'm hungry and kind of bitchy. Should we get on to the next video? What else do I got? Oh, LeBron James. Let's talk about this one because this kind of connects what I was talking about. Like, these people are afraid to die.
Why do you think LeBron hasn't retired? They are coming to collect. Do you really think he wants to be out there playing at 41 years of age? Now, he's playing great. He's playing fucking amazing. I did not think they'd be up 3-1 on the Rockets. And I hope they beat the Rockets. He's been playing great. This last, 3 weeks have made me switch my stance. I think he's the GOAT, not Jordan. But, you're not the face of the NBA for over 15 years without sacrificing something. Before he was the face, Kobe was the face. Look what happened to Kobe. Before Kobe, it was Jordan. We all know what Jordan had to go through when he took a year off, and we all know what happened to his father. Before Jordan, it was Magic. We all know the humiliation that he had to go through. Being exiled from the league, basically sacrificing 4 years of his prime, being clowned on. They're coming to collect. It's simple as that. We've seen his chest tattoo. You know who his masters are. Why do you think he was giving such sheepish answers during the All-Star break when they asked him about retirement, saying, "Oh, I just want to live. I just want to be around"? They're coming to collect, sadly.
What they're saying is there's a couple. So I've watched a couple of videos. So the running theory with this is just LeBron, but across kind of the board. Because when you get into that kind of position, when you've become that kind of status, you got to lose something. You got to lose something. You have to sacrifice something. And LeBron hasn't sacrificed anything yet. And so when he retires, it'll probably be his life or the life of his children, or I don't know if he's married. It'll be someone close to him. And he doesn't want to. So he keeps going. He just keeps going. And then a lot of people, you might be wondering who the guy in the back was. Because I was like, who the hell is that guy? And that guy is an NBA handler. Maybe. I have a video. Go. Or not. It's cool. We don't. Is this like an off-topic thing?
Who is the mystery man in OVO's latest NBA collaboration? If you watched an NBA game, you might have seen this guy sitting courtside. David Stern once called him the largest investor in NBA tickets in the world. But who is he? This is James Goldstein. You can always spot him at a game in his signature cowboy hat, bandana, jacket, and boots. To say he's an NBA fan is an understatement. He spends up to 8 months a year on the road, mainly going to NBA games, and sometimes that adds up to 5 times a week, which is about 100 games per year, and he spends nearly $500,000 on seats and about $20,000 on his outfits. What you might not believe is that he travels to all of these games on commercial flights. He once said that it makes him feel better about all the money he spends attending games. Although he's a season ticket holder for the Lakers and Clippers, what makes him really interesting and sometimes a villain in certain cities is that whatever games he attends, he's always rooting for the visiting team because he doesn't want to be a part of what he calls the masses. The coolest part of his shoot with OVO are the details. Shots were taken at his $75 million Hollywood Hills mansion. He used his 1951 Rolls Royce for photos, and this is the only car he owns and drives. And there's his photo with Kobe at his house.
Goldstein, huh? You don't say. You know who he looks like. You know what he looks like? You guys ever watch the Poltergeist movie? Let me see if I can find it. He looks like that guy. Poltergeist. Yeah, that's him. Hold on. I'll pull it up. I'll pull it up. Share screen. Ooh, doggy. Get up there. Nothing wants to work tonight. And that makes me sad. There we go. We got it. Look at that. That's who he looks like. This guy. This guy right here. Right here. The poltergeist priest. Yes. I always thought Joe Biden looked like this guy too. Yeah, I know my internet's not being wonderful tonight. Not wild. Gross. Gross. But he's like the handler at the NBA. He's at every game, has the most money, just hugging everybody. Looks like a fucking warlock. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But they're afraid to die. That's what this is. The rest of us, I feel like, unless you're a hardcore atheist, like that one guy. Oh, do I have that video? LeBron. I think I do. It's this one. Can't hear God. I think it's this one. Hold on.
It is so hard to hear God in America because we are distracted by a lullaby. I got so convicted by two things. There was a documentary on the underground church of Iran called Sheep Among Wolves. It's on YouTube. It's free. And this lady who could be beaten and murdered for her faith said that after a certain amount of time that they would move back to the States and retire in California. So they get done, her and her husband moved to the States, and in less than 5 years, they moved back to Iran where she could be beaten raped and murdered for her faith because she said it was unbearable to live in America. And that makes me go, wow, that's interesting because we're a country of a freedom of religion. You know, so should it be easier to worship Jesus? And she said, no, it was harder because she said that phrase. America is being rocked to sleep by a lullaby of entertainment. And that shocked me to the core years ago. And then recently I've become friends with a guy named Charles, who's from Nairobi, Kenya. And we were sitting down one night while we were on our tour bus doing our live podcast tour. And he said, you know, Bryce, it is so hard to hear God in America. And I was like, wow, that's interesting. And he said, yeah, there's so much noise here. So much noise. Everyone's so distracted. Whereas when I'm back in Africa, I can hear God so clearly. And that's my warning. We're being distracted.
That wasn't the video I was thinking, but that was a good one anyway. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm 100%. That was a good one for you. This is the video I was thinking. This is about Anthony LaVeus, I think is his last name. He was a hardcore atheist. He led like the atheism church. He died. Here's
Google
his video.
Anthony LaVey's death. It's pretty interesting.
What is it?
Apparently, he started screaming out. He had a vision of hell and started screaming out, no, no, I served you. I followed you. What are you doing? No. I've read good sources that he didn't die well. LaVey and Satanism was copied after the Catholic Church. They have sacraments. They have the sacrament of confirmation. They call their priest.
Really?
Yeah. Just like we have, I'm high liturgy, trad Catholic. So given the choice, I'm going to Latin Mass, Gregorian chant, the whole thing. And then you've got on the other spectrum, I'm spiritual, but I'm not religious. I just don't want all these rules of religion and everything in between. The occult world works the same. You've got everything from I'm spiritual, but not religious, meaning I'm not ritualistic. I do a little Wicca, all the way up to your full liturgical satanic rituals and everything in between.
That scares the shit out of me. I'd rather believe in God and Jesus Christ and then die and be wrong than to not believe in God and Jesus Christ and then die and be wrong. Do you know what I'm saying? Oh, he's in each and every one. I know that. That was a good one, wasn't it? I was like, I got to show that one tonight. Because I'd heard that before about that guy. Oh, I agree that satanic candle are signed to LeBron. It's signed to all of them. No, they didn't make him marry a guy, but ain't no party like a P. Diddy party, right? Right? That was LeBron James. So that's all I'm saying. These people are afraid to die. They sold their souls. They gave it up. They followed LaVeus religiously for fame and wealth and fortune. And now they're afraid to die. They're getting older. And they're scared. And I can't blame them. Which is all the more reason why we shouldn't be. Because I think most normal people at heart know that, murder is wrong and raping is wrong. Like all these things are wrong. We don't do it. Right? We're sinners in our own way, but to the level to where we worship something like that. The rituals, and I've never done that. Never had no desire to do that. Look up the lady that has no fingerprints. They were burned off in hell. She thought she was good with God. I will look her up. Oh, what's her name? Lady. Oops. Fingerprints. Hell. The Google machine. Based on the search. No. Oh, lady went to hell. Lady went to hell for unforgiveness. She said many Christians were there believing. Once saved over. Oh, I've seen this. It's like 4 minutes. Do you want to watch it? We can. I feel like stuff like this can be kind of fear porny though too. But I mean, what's up? How was practice? Was it?
Yeah, Jacob's mom got me cane.
She got you canes?
Yeah.
Jacob's mom is better than your mom.
No.
I know. I would have. She is pretty good mom. I agree. I'm almost done. I'll be out in a little bit. We can chat. I love you. Did you bring me home canes?
No.
Gosh. It's all right. Yes, you want to play it real quick? All right, I got a couple minutes. It's like 4 minutes long. We'll play it. Let me get it pulled up first, though. I hate doing this kind of stuff live because it takes forever and my internet wants to crash. This is on Facebook, and it doesn't always work either. Okay, I think I got it. So, share screen. We'll go a little bit over. Not too far over, though.
There for believing the once saved, always saved doctrine. Oh, it gets real. Check this out.
Everybody thinks they're going to heaven. Everybody. Somebody murdered my own brother. God says this guy gets to be forgiven. And those gates swung open and a hand came out of hell and it grabbed me in my spirit. And as soon as I was taken in, those gates slammed shut, and the noise that it made, that noise was worse than all of the screaming and everybody screaming. I was taken and placed in a teardrop-shaped cell, suspended over a lake of fire. He looked down at me and he said, "You are in hell eternally for unforgiveness." There's no water in hell, and so my whole body evaporated. And what was left was just some skin with the bones on it. You're going to scream like you've never screamed before. My eyes broke apart, but they still worked. My eardrums broke, but you hear all these people screaming. Unforgiveness, when it gets to play itself out, it's murder. I breathed the fire in. Now I was burning from the inside and the outside. I mean, the trauma from what I went through. I'm sorry. Well, if that's who God is, then I would rather be in hell. Quit talking. Yeah. There's lots of Christians there, just like me. They believed in God, but they did not obey him. The number one lie was once saved, always saved. They would not repent again because there was no need. They repented on the first day that they were saved. If he forgave you your sin now, you are like him. Go forgive. When I came back, I don't know my name. I don't know my birthday. I'm afraid I'm going back to hell. I'm yelling at this young woman that I don't know, who is my daughter, get out of my house.
Did anyone think it was mental?
Everybody thought it was mental, and it's physical. And within 24 hours, I have no fingerprints. The FBI knows that I'm one of the few people in the United States that don't have any fingerprints. Repent. Accept the free gift of Jesus Christ. Everybody thinks because they're in the image of God, they're a child of God. That is such a lie. You didn't lose your salvation. You walked away from it.
Thank you, ma'am.
It's evil. It's an evil thing to say once saved, always saved. It's
Christ. He paid it all. I'm exalting Christ by saying his sacrifice is more than enough.
You have a form of godliness, but you deny the power.
The spirit that rose Christ from the dead resides in you.
You know, something that the Lord says in the word is they honor me with their lips, but their hearts are far from me. Meaning there's many different people who say things like, I love Jesus. Me and Jesus have our own relationship. I know Jesus. Jesus knows me. Jesus knows my heart. Well, Jeremiah 17:9, you may not want that to be the case because the heart is deceitful. And that's why many hearts are away from the Lord, but their lips are with him. Because their heart is deceitful. It hasn't went through a transformation. They said a sinner's prayer. They got dipped in water, but their heart stayed the same. Their mind stayed the same. They didn't build an intimate relationship with the Lord. They did things because people told them if they do that, they would be okay. If they did that, that would be a new birthday. If they did that, they'd be born again. But in the Bible, it says that you're born again by the incorruptible seed. It never says you're born again by saying something. You're born by the incorruptible seed being entered into you. 1 Peter 1:23.
Oh my gosh. I'm just saying. That's messed up. I get that. Maybe I should go to church. I don't know. That's something I'll pray about. We'll see. Yeah, I felt that. I've been feeling that for a while. That's why my content's been a little different. And it's going to cost me because the rants and the screaming and the yelling and that's what gets the views and the impressions. But that's okay too. Because the algorithm comes and goes anyway, so it's not like it matters. What else we got? Oh, I got a $10 thingy. $10 Rumble Rant, Badlands Media fan. Great show tonight. Thank you. You're super welcome. I'm glad. Church and religion, and that's what I struggle with too. I do like going to church because I like to get dressed up, and I feel like a little more part of our community, as to where sometimes in our community I can be pretty standoffish. My husband's balls deep in it. He coaches basketball, youth basketball. He coached football one year. He's just real into it. He plays men's league or whatever in the town over. And I'm just not that person. Like online and offline, we're just two different people. I don't know. I really do. Because I've grown up Catholic. It's like when I walk into a Catholic church, I feel very much at home, even though I don't agree with what happened at the Catholic church. And I don't agree with my Catholic church, not saying all, but my Catholic church. Just kind of the judgment and I didn't really care for all that. But like when I walked in there, like on Ash Wednesday, what do we got? $10 from Susie Q. We're here for you. God bless. God bless you too. Thank you. When I walked in, even though there's nobody here and they didn't have service, I walked in on Ash Wednesday. I was hoping to get my ashes. And yeah, just because they all smell the same. They all smell like that incense. They all kind of look the same. It just felt like, so we might go. My husband really kind of leans into the Catholic. He likes the traditional, and I think I kind of do too. That doesn't mean that we have to necessarily get online with everything that because Catholics can preach with a lot of fear. They focus on that versus the repentance versus the good that can outweigh the fear. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you need to repent, but it's complicated. So I don't know. And they told me to leave. That was a long time ago. So maybe we'll try again. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. We have this country because pilgrims were burned at the stake for reading scriptures in English. I too was Catholic from first grade. Yeah, I was Catholic. I was baptized into a Catholic church from the time I was baby. Catholic Mass, the only service I ever walked out on, and I've tried. I've been to a lot of different denominations. I've been a Catholic. I've been to a Mormon church. I sang in a Mormon church once. I've been to a non-denominational, like a Hope Evangelistic church. We went to like a Sunnybrook mega church, which is entertaining. But again, when you grow up Catholic, it kind of feels like this isn't the purpose. Do you know what I mean? Not in a judgmental way, but it's like, I feel like the entertainment value of it takes yeah, that's how I felt. And so maybe the Catholic tradition is kind of back. Completely. But I hear origin. I can't remember the Berlin.